As an advanced player or a beginner, do you want to know the absolute best gears in the game? This video is for you. I spent hundreds of hours collecting all of the gears in the game to know the top 15 game-changing gears you can't afford to miss. Like for example, the Blue Grade Gloves Fortune Grasp has 77 defense for its added stats and increases your archetype experience gains multiplier by 1.5. Although you will not use this gear in major fights, you will be using this a lot when farming for archetype XP to max out your heroic embodiments easily. Note that the Fortune Grasp works in tandem with the archetypal ring, so be sure to equip both to have the best archetype XP gains as possible. Get the Fortune Grasp as a reward after completing Coliseum matches in Port Vrilhaven. Coming at the top 14 spot is the Sprite Boots set. Blue grade boots that provides 88 defense and 5 evasion to the wearer's stats, and any archetype can wear these gears. What makes it good is that each type increases evasion against a corresponding element, for example fire, wind, electricity, and ice. Winning combat in this game depends on preparation, so I usually use this when trying to cover up an archetype elemental weakness just in case I really need it in certain fights. Getting each Sprite Boots type is pretty easy when arriving at Virga Island, and the local weapon and armory shop is selling these. If you love collecting gold beetles, turning 25 beetles to Elderly Entomophile in Port Vrilhaven will provide you with a Clawbreaker gear, a legendary grade gloves that adds 88 defense and can be equipped by any archetype. This gear also provides a thick +6 strength, which can work greatly with other strength boosting accessories like Gleaming Crystal to easily stack up strength when building physical damage oriented characters. Adding icing on the cake is granting the user slash damage resistance, pretty useful in a lot of fights. I let Hulkenberg set with a Knight archetype and use this accessory a lot since the slash resistance works well when diverting and tanking incoming attacks. The Runic Handguard will take the top 12 spot, another blue grade glove that adds raw 100 defense. This gear's special effects grants the wielder 1 stack of attack buff or a Tarokaja buff at the start of battle and provides +3 strength and magic. You may not see the potential of this gear at first glance, but when another party member casts the Formation of Vigor skill, which provides 2 stacks of attack buffs, the party member you equip the Runic Handguard or the main damager of the party will have 3 full stacks of attack buff as early as the first turn. Why this is important? In boss fights, first turns are crucial. If you can burst down the boss or deal a lot of damage even before they act, you can easily have the advantage. Get these awesome gloves from the Alterberry Heights armor shop and you are good to go. The Hair Breeches is a purple grade glove that provides 85 defense, and any archetype can wear this gear. Its special effects grants Sukukaja buff effect when the battle starts, which increases the hit and evasion of the user, with the added bonus of +2 agility and endurance on the side. This gear works like the Runic Handguard that I just mentioned, where you can take advantage of evasion buff stacking immediately during the first turn. Equip the Hair Breeches to a party member with a high agility like Heismei and you will have high chances of evading attacks and depleting enemy turn icons during early battle turns. The fewer actions that the enemy can do, the more you gain the upper hand in combat. Location wise, as I remember, you can get this gear from a chest when exploring the Dragon Temple. Taking the top 10 spot is the Touring Sandals, a purple grade pair of sandals that can be used by any archetype and adds 129 defense and 9 evasion. Another great gear that focuses on agility, adding raw +7 agility stat. I see value in this gear. Not only you can use this on Heismei, but it can also be useful when trying to beef up a party members with low agility, so you can manipulate who's going to take their turn first. A good example is Hulkenberg with a Knight archetype built as a support or buffer. She has pretty horrible agility, but you want her to be first when taking turns, but to do so, you need to increase her agility a lot, so this gear will shine in this scenario. Taking the top 9 spot is the Wolf Greaves, a purple grade pair of shoes that provides endgame stats of 138 defense and can also be equipped by any archetype. This is a direct upgrade of the Runic Handguard, so its mechanics works the same. Aside from the fat defense, you want to use this if your attack buff stacking during first turns to burst down your targets as mentioned. However, you will be getting this way late in the second to the last dungeon, which is the Skybound Avatar as a loot. This is where the list goes spicier, and coming in at the top 8 spot is the Serene Headband, a legendary headgear that adds 125 defense and 10 evasion and can only be used by certain archetypes. What it does, this gear increases the user's evasion against slash, pierce, and strike, all in one. Again, a party member who's built to divert attacks like Heismei, equipped with the Knight's Proclamation skill, can do wonders with this headgear. Endgame enemies love to spam different types of physical AoE attacks, so the Serene Headband will increase your chances of avoiding the said attacks frequently. But the caveat is that players will be getting this way late in the final dungeon, but I can't remember if I got it from a chest or as a reward after beating the optional bosses in the area. I see the Sergeant Greaves as a great gear for tank builds, a legendary Greaves that adds 150 defense and can be equipped by any archetype. Its special ability adds +4 endurance and agility, but also grants the user a large HP recovery every turn in battle. This is a phenomenal gear when equipped with a tank build Hulkenberg, as she will be receiving way less damage while recovering a decent amount of HP every turn. You will be mitigating HP losses thanks to this gear. Location wise, and as far as I remember, players can steal the Medic Greaves from the Kokamordo's boss enemy within the Manor of Ascendant dungeon, and then later on can be purified. Coming in hot at top 6 spot is a legendary gear, the Kaiser Pickle Hub, a gear that adds a whopping +200 defense and can be equipped by physical oriented archetypes such as the Warrior, Knight, Berserker, and Prince. Aside from its enormous strength, it also provides +5 strength and endurance, a great accessory for its stat-thick additions that you can use in a wide variety of general setups like your main physical damagers or tanks. But just like the other legendaries, you will be getting this in the final dungeon. If you are getting value so far, subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and engaging in the comments helps me a lot. Thank you for your support. The split shoes are one of the legendary gears that you can't miss, having an added 125 defense and 7-4 evasion, usable by any archetype, so you will have versatility when it comes to its usage. It is high up on the list as it allows the user to repel fire, wind, electric, and ice depending on which type you will purify it on. This is one of the few items that can be purified to change its effect. Repelling attacks in general is a pretty overpowered mechanic in this game because not only you will be reflecting the damage to your enemies, but also depletes their turns big time. Because of the split shoes elemental versatility, it will provide value in a lot of fights, not to mention a lot of endgame enemies and bosses loves to spam AoE elemental attacks. So coming prepared with the split shoes equipped in your setup can make enemies look like clowns. You will get your hands on this great item when exploring the Disgraced Ruins. The top 4 spot will be taken by the Yggdrasil Crown, a legendary hat that adds 130 defense and can only be used by certain archetypes. Yggdrasil Crown is one of my personal favorites along with the next gear on the list, since this gear prevents all mental status effects, which are Charm, Daze, Forget, Sleep, and Rage, while also adding +5 magic. This gear is pretty useful, especially when equipped with support type build characters or what we call cleansers, party members or individuals who can cast Penpatra to keep the whole party free from status effects. Endgame bosses and enemies loves to inflict nasty negative status effects, which usually put you in tight spots, so this gear will add a lot of value to your setups. But the best part is, this gear is easy to get and you can do so by completing all Coliseum ranking matches in Port Brilhaven. Towering the top 3 spot is a Divine Light Gloves, another legendary gear that provides 130 defense and can be used by any of your party members, which is a huge plus. The Yggdrasil Crown is in charge of preventing all mental status effects, but the Divine Light Gloves will prevent all physical status effects that might be inflicted on the user. Physical status effects such as poison, malady, paralysis, hex, burn, and frostbite. Depending on your needs, your cleansers will be alternating between Yggdrasil Crown and the Divine Light Gloves a lot. Players can get this gear in the second to the last dungeon, which is the Sky Avatar, after defeating the Blood Coin Imitek in the Royal Garden area. Dominating the top 2 spot is the God Hand, or you will probably know this as the Asura's Hands, Yaksha's Hands, or Rakshasa Hands. Legendary gloves that provides 135 defense and can be used by any party member. The God Hand is another gear that changes its effect when purifying this item. Essentially, the Asura significantly increases slash attack strength, Rakshasa to strike attacks, and lastly, Yaksha for pierce attacks. This is one of my staple gear, especially when building my main damage dealers like my Samurai or Royal Warrior setups, as this gear adds roughly 20 to 25% damage increase on the mentioned attack types after a handful of testing. This will surely take your damage to the next level, and I highly recommend utilizing it, especially if you are into burst setups or min-maxing overall damage. Location wise, get this gear in the front parlor area of the Skybound Avatar and start breaking enemies. And of course, the best gear on the list, or my personal GOAT, is the Reverend Crown, a legendary headgear made solely for the protagonist, and in terms of raw stats, this crown adds 155 defense. What makes this gear broken is it adds one turn icon when the protagonist starts his turn, and this effect is permanent. Even though this accessory can only be worn by the protagonist, the whole party can still benefit from this gear since the prince can generate a whopping 4 turn icons on top of the Reverend Crown's added turn icon. Imagine the crazy setups and strategies that you can do with this combo, and of course, the more actions you have, the more advantage you gain in combat. One good combo as well is when the Reverend Crown is paired with Utilitarian Manual accessory, which reduces Synthesis attacks turn icons by 1, so you will be getting a lot of value from this crown. Getting the Reverend Crown is a cakewalk, and it is a reward for reaching 80% of the protagonist's archetype board progress, and you can easily max all of your party members' archetype board if you know where to farm. I've linked all of my farming guides in the description, so you're all set. Having all of these god tier gears will change the game, but if you want to know the best end game farming spots in the game or want to have the perfect start possible, click on these videos and I will catch you on the next one.